Hi, and very warm welcome to CSS and PMS English Salt Paper Hub. In this channel, you will find Salt CSS and PMS English past paper, detailed essay breakdown and writing tips, precision comprehension strategies, vocabulary building and grammar lesson, common mistakes and how to avoid them, time management, and exam hacks. He enjoyed during the holidays. Now, this sentence is wrong because the verb enjoy is reflexive and it needs a reflexive pronoun himself to complete the meaning. So, the correct sentence would be he enjoyed himself during the holidays. That would be correct sentence. None of the boys had learned their lesson. Now we know that learn is singular, but with the phrase of the boys, plural is also acceptable. Learn is British, learn is more standard globally. Lessons matches plural subject boys. So the correct sentence would be none of the boys had learned their lessons. He is abusing the money of his father. Now, in this sentence, abusing money is incorrect usage. The correct term is misusing money, not abusing money. Also, his father's money is more natural. Instead of the money of his father's money. So the correct sentence would be he is misusing his father's money. I regret at the delay. Regret is a transitive verb and doesn't take a preposition in this usage. At, the preposition at here is wrong. So the correct sentence would be I regret the delay, not regret at the delay. I couldn't help but laugh. We know that the idiomatic expression couldn't help is followed by a gerund. Here in this sentence, the use of but is redundant. There is no need to use but. So the correct sentence would be I couldn't help laughing. I always have and always shall be your friend. Now, these types of mistakes are called parallel structure mistakes. Both the structures need to be parallel. Both verbs need complete auxiliaries, have been and shall be. But in the first structure, we see that have is not followed by auxiliary been. So the correct sentence would be I always have been and always shall be your friend. I was out walking when I saw the moon in the garden. I saw a moon in the garden. It means the moon was physically there in the garden. I could see and touch it. Huh? No, it is completely illogical. The correct and appropriate preposition here would be over, not in. So the correct sentence would be I was out walking when I saw the new moon over the garden, not in the garden. He cried as if he was mad. Now, here the situation is hypothetical or contrary to fact. Now, in such situation, we use subjunctive mood. We use were instead of was. So, the correct sentence would be he cried as if he were mad, not he was mad. They only work when they have no money. Here in this sentence, the placement of only is wrong. It affects the meaning. Only should modify when they have no money. So the correct sentence would be they work only when they have no money. They left the hotel here. They had been staying in a motor car. In this sentence, the use of here is incorrect. It should be where to introduce the clause properly. So the correct sentence would be they left the hotel where they had been staying in a motor car. They left. I cannot by no means allow you to do so. Now, in this sentence has double negatives. Cannot, by no means. Both give negative meanings, and using double negatives is incorrect in standard English. By any means is the correct phrase. So the correct sentence would be I cannot by any means allow you to do so. My friend said he never remembered having read a more enjoyable book. Now, in this sentence, if you look at the phrase never remembered having read, this looks awkward. Simpler and clearer phrasing will be far better. So, the correct sentence would be my friend said he had never read a more enjoyable book. Going up the hill, an old temple was seen. Now, if you look at this sentence, going up the hill, an old temple was seen. Seen by whom? This sentence has a dangling modifier mistake. Going up the hill should refer to the subject, we. So the correct sentence would be going up the hill, we saw an old temple. That would be the correct sentence. One day, the bird didn't perform certain tricks which he taught it to his satisfaction. Now, this sentence has two mistakes. Number one, the subject is missing, which should be he, and the second mistake is the wrong use of the verb taught instead of taught. It should be taught, not thought. So the correct sentence would be one day the bird didn't perform certain tricks which he had taught it to his satisfaction. In the accident, one of my arms was broken and my legs bruised. Now, if you look at this sentence is parallel structure mistake. The first structure uses one of my arms, so the second structure should have both legs, not my legs. So the correct sentence would be in the accident, one of my arms was broken and both legs were bruised. You have been working very hard for the last 2 years, isn't it? Now, this sentence has a tag question mistake. The first statement, you have been working very hard, this is in present perfect. So the correct tag would be haven't you, not isn't you. The correct sentence would be you have been working very hard for the last 2 years, haven't you? John could hardly do no better than to have caught a bass of such dimension. Now, in this sentence, double negative is used. Could hardly and no better. Both conveys negative meaning. Only one is enough. Double negative in a standard English is wrong. So the correct sentence would be John could hardly do better than to have caught a bass of such dimension. I, who have no chance to meet him, would rather go with you instead of sitting at home. Now, this sentence has two main mistakes. Number one, who have no chance to meet him. This is a relative clause, so it should be separated from the subject by commas. I, comma, who have no chance to meet him, comma. Now, the second mistake is that would rather is followed by than, not instead of. So the correct sentence would be I, who have no chance to meet him, would rather go with you than sitting at home. We were staying at my sister's Caps Court vacation home. Now, this sentence has capitalization as well as possessive mistakes. Cap code is a proper noun, so it should be capitalized, and no apostrophe for position is necessary or required after caps code. So the correct sentence would be we were staying at my sister's Cap Cod vacation home.